This episode of FineScale Modeler's New Product Rundown features Merit International's Fokker Triplane, Roden's Opel Omnibus, Trumpeter's USS Tennessee, and Bronco's Horsa Glider. Hi and welcome to FineScale Modeler's New Product Rundown, our bi-weekly look at new kits and accessories. I'm Tim Kidwell.
I'm Aaron Skinner. Let's kick this episode off with Merit International's new Fokker Dr.1.
Yeah, climbing onto the World War I bandwagon, Merit goes big with this triplane, 1/24th scale.
Now, the Fokker Dr.1 doesn't need a whole lot of introduction, except to acknowledge perhaps that its fame outweighs or exceeds its operational history.
Designed to go up against the Sopwith triplane, the Fokker was maneuverable, but slow, and it was plagued with structural problems.
Now, the Dr.1, there are only 320 of them were built, but the aircraft is indelibly linked to Manfred von Richthofen, who shot down 17 of his 80 victories in this aircraft.
And he was flying a Dr.1 when he was killed in April of 1918.
The aircraft's been well served in plastic in the past, with kits from 1/100th scale all the way to 1/28th.
But this is the largest. Molded in gray plastic, the parts show decent surface detail. Ribs on the wings are very subtle.
The ailerons and rudder are separate, but the elevators are molded with the horizontal stabilizer.
Inside, the kit features the full metal structure with long side pieces and separate cross members.
A seat, floor, controls, instrument panel, rear bulkhead, and part of the gas tank detail the cockpit.
The rotary engine has molded cooling vanes and separate cylinder heads, valve rocker arms, and intake manifold.
There's no provision for it or the prop to turn, but that won't be a concern for most modelers.
The plastic machine guns receive photo-etched metal cooling jackets.
Photo-etched metal is also used for the flight control surface horns.
The triplane didn't have a lot of rigging, but there was some, as well as control lines.
The kit doesn't include a rigging diagram, but the anchor points are molded on the fuselage.
And the painting instructions show most of the control lines. References will get you the rest of the way.
The decals provide markings for two triplanes, one in streaked green camo with red rear fuselage, cowl, and upper wing, as flown by Manfred von Richthofen.
The other is a pretty green, black, and white plane monogrammed by pilot Fritz Kempf.
The Fokker factory green streaking is included on the decals.
If you're looking for a simple build of a World War I fighter, this just might be the ticket.
Absolutely. Who would have thought we'd take more than one segment of the MPRD to talk about bus kits?
Yeah, a few episodes ago we took a look at Mini Arts Soviet Gas. Now we're going to take a look at Roden's 1/35th scale Opel 3.6-47 Omnibus.
This was a vehicle built on the Opel Blitz platform.
But unlike the Gas, the 3.6-47 was purpose-built for the German Army.
It carried 28 soldiers and served on all fronts of the German war effort.
Roden's kit features a detailed 6-cylinder engine.
The crisply molded wheels and springs attached to a single-piece frame.
The differential, drivetrain, exhaust, radiator, and fuel tank all join them.
Inside the bus are 14 passenger benches with molded wood planking. Cushioned crew seats sit up front.
The simple dash is embellished with decal dials, and there are controls, including pedals.
The bus's body includes the floor and roof,
as well as sides, front and rear. All of the doors are posable to show the interior.
The radiator grille has open slats, and the windshield has a scale-thin frame.
A sheet of thin, clear styrene provides the windows.
The tires are vinyl.
Markings are given for 3 buses, one each on the eastern, western, and African fronts.
Another nice, unusual addition to available kits.
Next, let's take a look at Trumpeter's 1/700th scale USS Tennessee.
Commissioned in 1920, Tennessee was damaged at Pearl Harbor and subsequently underwent repairs and modernization.
In May of 1943, she was back at sea and took part in Allied operations from the Marshall Islands and Bismarck Archipelago
to the Marianas, Palau, Leyte Gulf, Iwo Jima, and Okinawa, and it was even involved in the occupation of Japan.
Trumpeter's kit models the ship after modernization and can be built as either a waterline or full hull model.
Molding of the hull is first-rate with fine lines, strakes, and hawse pipes.
The deck has engraved plank detail as well as anchor chains and gun tubs.
There were a lot of anti-aircraft guns on the Tennessee in 1944, so be prepared to spend a lot of time assembling small bits.
These parts are very fine and should look great. The quality extends to components like the superstructure,
funnels, and masts.
the main gun turrets, cranes, ship's boats, and other fittings look great too.
Optional photo-etched metal replaces some of the open frame parts like cranes and the aircraft catapults.
The painting instructions and box show OS2U Kingfishers, but the assembly instructions and parts are for 3 SC1 Seahawks.
The painting instructions show Tennessee in measure 32 disruptive camouflage.
A small decal sheet provides flags, hull numbers, and national insignia for the aircraft.
A nice small-scale kit of an important warship. Finally today, we have a really nice surprise from Bronco, a 1/35th scale airspeed Horsa glider. 1/35th scale airspeed Horsa glider as used by the airspeed Horsa glider as used by the Allied forces during the D-Day landings at Normandy.
Do you see me, toe cutter?
This was towed behind C-47s or short.
Do you hear me, toe cutter? Do you hear me, man? Born with a steering wheel in his hand and lead in his foot. He is the Night Rider. Cruising at the speed of freight. I am the Night Rider, and we ain't never coming back. You should see the damage, Bronze. Metal damage, brain damage. Are you listening, Bronze? I am the Night Rider. I am a fuel-injected suicide machine. I'm a rocker. I'm a roller.
Don't you think this thing's been going on for way too long?
I'm an out-of-controller. I am the Night Rider, baby. And it's me and my Marmaduke, and we ain't never coming back. Mediocre.
I've been waiting a long time for this, Mr. Kidwell.
I'm gonna need a change of wardrobe.
That's a great looking kit, and it should make a wonderful addition to 1/35th scale dioramas. Look for a review of the triplane in an upcoming issue of FineScale Modeler magazine.
And you can see more new products in the November issue on sale now.
Thanks for visiting FineScale.com. I'm Aaron Skinner, and I guess we can't call you Tim anymore.
Call me Nash, Elizabeth Nash.
We'll see you next time.
The toe cutter, he knows who we are. I am the Night Rider. I am the chosen one. The mighty hand of vengeance sent down to strike the unroadworthy. I'm hotter than the rolling dice.